Glad to have you back. It's the Business Daily right here on Trust Television. Now we're looking at another topic. Of course, we are analyzing the reforms of the government and how it is impacting on the larger business environment. A lot has happened in the last 20 months of this government. The subsidy removal gone. Of course, the issue about exchange rate unification, which has affected the value of the naira. The inflation rate is an all-time high, 34.8%. And of course, it's a very huge one. Of course, the Donald Trump effect, talking about its impact on the global economy, is also right there. Of course, Nigeria also planning to join BRICS. I mean, Nigeria has been invited already by Brazil as partner, the partner member of BRICS. We look at how this will impact on the economy there. Largely, I have someone who is very, very deep in terms of economic knowledge. Dr. Sam Omale is the president, CEO, Rock Investment Network, London. He joins me via phone now from London. Good morning, Dr. Omale.
Good morning. How are you? I can see you.
Yes, I can see you. I can hear your voice. Let's go on.
Can you see me?
I can hear your voice. Let's go ahead.
Okay.
Let's look at the government economic reforms. You were here before the election. You were one of the candidates running to govern your state, Kogi State, there at the time. But post-election, a lot has happened. Subsidy removal by the government, the exchange rate unification, and all of these have had a lot of impact on the larger economy. What is your take?
Well, the aim of reforms anyway is to improve the economy for the better. And the various reforms that have been issued in the past 2 years have good intentions, but we're still waiting for its positive economic impact, which will take time. The problem I've always had is not the policies themselves, is the implementation, the execution of the various policies that have always come out. The design and execution, if it's not designed properly, it cannot achieve the purpose for which they were intended for. And if it's not well implemented with timelines, by this time we should be here, by this time we should be here. So policies are good, but it's the design and implementation that is important. For now, wait to see how it will impact on the overall economic growth and welfare of Nigerians.
It's been 18 months or 20 months already, but the impact so far has been largely negative. What do you think government should do? I mean, the president has consistently said that he is not going back on his policy. He believes in his policy. He believes in his team that he has put together to drive the economic growth. What do you think? The impact has not really been positive back home.
Yes, I think the first thing, or the first thing the government should actually do, first of all, is to explain each of these policies clearly and to see the benefits. If the people know there's an anticipated benefit to any of the policies, they will endure. But I'm not sure the government is transmitting that message yet to the overall populace of Nigeria. If you take, for example, the removal of fuel subsidy, which is a very fantastic thing to do, but they didn't prepare the populace for it, because there are various advantages for removing the subsidy. For example, if you take that for example, financial resources will be freed up for the development of others. I'm talking about the subsidy now, because subsidy by itself is where government is paying the full cost of a good, but people who buy it in the marketplace are buying it at a lesser price. It's subsidized. So if the price of something is 10 naira, government pays 10 naira, but the people are paying 5 naira. Now, we have been led like that for the past how many years, and it's not a good thing to do. So what is important is that once the government can save money from that subsidy, it will be plowed back into the economy. First subsidy removal also reduces the budget deficit. You know, budgets are being designed, but they don't have money to make them to perform the budget. Now, the money that is coming from the removal of subsidy will be able to be plowed back into the budget implementation.
Dr. Omale,
Also,
Dr. Omale,
yes.
if you can hear me, people will argue with you that it does appear that the subsidy money is not really working for the people because government is still borrowing more. In the 2025 budget, we are expected to borrow about 13 trillion naira. A lot of people are asking, where is the money we are saving from subsidy?
Yeah, and now the government has to explain that because you see that's the problem. That's the problem with Nigerian policies. They will have policies that are good, but it will be compromised. It will be compromised. It will be I don't know. It will be the government has to explain that because that was should be. People should be asking that question. That question is legitimate. Where is the money that is saved from that? Why are we still going into borrowing? You know, why is it not strengthening our foreign exchange, for example?
Absolutely.
Why is it not reducing our dependence on imported goods? Why is it not, you know, improving our lives? You know, so the government has a lot of explanation to do. To be fair, they have a lot of explanation to do.
All right. Let's look at another issue now that is at the front burner. Tax reform bills. There have been a back and forth between the Nigerians, or most especially the governors, and of course the president about some provisions in that bill. Do you think it is the right time for us to reform our tax at this time?
Yeah, definitely. It's been a while. You see. Again, like I said, the policies are good. It's just that people, they don't explain issues. You know, there are 4 areas of the reform. Number one, the whole idea is to unify all Nigerian taxes. You know, and the purposes for which they are used. You know, there are so many taxes all over the place. So many. So this reform is to unify them. And it will actually lead to the reduction in income tax for companies. You know, so if the rate, for example, is reduced from 30%, I think, to 25% over the next 2 years, now that means that the cost of goods will be reduced. Also, it exempts small companies which are now being reclassified as companies with annual revenue threshold of 50 million. Now, so small companies like that are no more paying taxes. It also proposes the elimination of minimum tax losses and introduction of new development levies. So the policies are good. It reduces. Then also, I think where the governors are fighting about, but I think they have resolved that now. Is the value-added tax. You know, there is a new formula.
Absolutely.
And as far as I know, only Lagos and Rivers State are even worse off because of the new formula. But they have accepted it because these are the major contributors to the VAT in Nigeria. So local governors have accepted, so that's no issue anymore.
All right, we hope the bill will have a smooth passage there.
Of course, another good thing is the personal income tax. But I think people that are earning less than 800,000,
exactly.
That's not my understanding.
That is 800,000 naira annually.
Sorry?
8,000 naira. Talking about net annual income.
Yes.
I wonder how many Nigerians are not earning up to that. As we speak.
Is it
800,000. 800,000. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, again, I mean, but that will include a lot of people. That will include a lot of people. So all these petty guys who are going about and harassing them will be off them. So overall, let me be clear. Let's get the why that reform. I mean, what is the intention and why is it good? Number one, it clears. It's about to improve the Nigerian competitiveness. You know, countries levy taxes. Companies don't go to countries with high taxes. So, if Nigeria is to be competitive, meaning that if you want to attract companies to your domain, your tax has to be competitive. Also, it aligns Nigeria with other
global best practices.
Yes, and also, of course, it's important to create business-friendly environment. That is very important. To create friendly, business-friendly
environment. Dr. Omale. Dr. Omale, yes. I want to take you to your home state of Kogi. You were one of the candidates in the last election. You aspired to govern your state in 2023 yes. General election. As someone who is passionate, yes. you're an economist, you have lived abroad for decades, and of course you know how things work in those climes there. But as we speak, Kogi state in terms of inflation rates, we are one of the highest there. We are up there, but in terms of IGR, we are so low despite the abundant natural resources that we have under our soil. What do you think this government should do, the current government in the state, and of course the one at the center? How can they partner to make Kogi state, which the only state that share boundary with about 10 different states, to make it an economic hub of maybe the north central Nigeria?
The problem, which is exactly why I ran for governorship, the problem is that if you don't know, you can't give what you don't have. The first point to start, and it's not even being political, is that I don't think we have a functioning government in Kogi State.
People don't agree with you. We have a governor. We have a sitting governor.
I'm explaining myself. We have a third tenure government in place. So the guy who is said to be the governor has no decision making. He had to go back to the pen. It's a puppet, and the puppet has been there for 8 years. They haven't done anything, so you cannot expect anything.
Dr. Omale, yes. If you can hear me, but a lot of information we are getting from home is the fact that the government is doing very well.
What are they measuring? You see, what are they measuring? What is doing?
But what would you have done? What would you have done differently?
Look. Okay, you just mentioned the issue of income now. How are they generating income in the state? I'm not talking about the IGR. How are they generating income? How are they attracting business into the state? How are they improving infrastructure? Where infrastructure is working in Kogi State? Tell me one. Now, the electricity is now taken out of the exclusive list. How are we not generating our own power with all the water boards we have in Nigeria and the water in the river?
As at the last check, the governor is taking a step already to key into the new electricity bill. I think he has
it's not taking steps. It's doing it. I mean, 1 year is gone. It's not taking steps. It is the language of government, of bureaucracy. It's not taking steps. Before you get, meanwhile, this government didn't have a manifesto. I campaigned in that election. They didn't have a manifesto. So if you don't have a manifesto, what are you going to be building upon it? Now, all the results that are there, okay, you mentioned inflation, and majorly is food inflation. It's not an anomaly that Kogi State, which is a farming society, I mean, my father was a farmer, with the good land that is there, why would anybody be hungry? I mean, while I was campaigning, they said, I told them I can bring about food security and hunger to an end. In one farming season. One farming season has gone. So if you planted and you harvested, there's no reason, I mean, we have no drought, there's no national calamity in that place. So food should not be a problem. But Kogi State, it has the highest food inflation in the state. That's the that the government is not functioning. The roads are bad.
Doctor, a lot of people say it's easy to criticize when you are outside. Until you get into the system, you understand how difficult it is.
No, let me tell you. You see, this is a very lazy excuse people are giving. But and in fact, it's complicated. It's even more complicated because people are not elected into office. That's why that question is even coming up. If people were to be elected, you know that the next coming election, you are not going to win. So people are just staying there because they know they are going to rig their way in.
All right.
So you don't say, then we have to continue like that. If there's accountability, then what you are saying will not stay good. And that's why the government, Nigeria, everybody is like that. If you go there, then give to the person who wants to go there. And because as I speak to you now, Mention one person who had a manifesto, who campaigned and won, and is not following it. Go to other state. They had a plan.
All right, Dr. Omale. Let's not go into politics of it. Let's look at.
No, it's economics. It's pure economics. It's pure economics. How are we not attracting business in that state? You just mentioned now. We're surrounded by 10 states. That's an economy. We have natural resources. We have beauty. We have mineral resources. I say that we're going to have an investment company that will buy up all the mining rights in Kogi State. But if you go to Kogi State now, you see Chinese in the bush, and the Chinese will go to government house. Government people are conniving with foreigners to steal resources. Every Thursday night, gold is being taken away from Isori area.
All right, Dr. Omale, I'm from Kogi State, Dr. Omale, but that is not peculiar to Kogi State alone. It's happening in every state in Nigeria. Dr. Omale, let's begin to wrap up. Let's begin to wrap up now. Let's begin to wrap up the conversation. Let's look at the Trump effect on global economy. He's taking office, the Middle East is jittering, the Asia is jittering, even the Europe. Everybody is scared of Trump coming to become the president of America. What impact do you think it will have on global economy, particularly the UK where you are, where potentially we have a Nigeria waiting in the wing to become the prime minister?
Well, the whole of Trump, something America first, is protectionism. That was many years ago. It's taken us back to hundreds of years ago. We're now in the globalization era where there's economic integration across the world. So the tariff is promising will create a lot of chaos all over the place because it will create inflation both for America and for every nation. It will create a retaliatory effect because whatever it does, it's going to people are going to react. And the globalist or the acquisition of a Greenland, the naming of Mexico, the government of Mexico,
all right,
the takeover of the Panama Canal,
all right,
all of this and his intervention in wars will create a lot of confusion.
All right.
And the people, and I like Ukrainian presidents, he told Europe to be united and to be prepared. So this will unite Europe and stand firm so that they don't depend on America. America is standing alone.
All right, Doctor. A lot to say, but we have to go now. Time is already against us. I must thank you, Dr. Sam Omale. Is the president, CEO, Rock Investment Network. Is an international financial economist and a consultant, and of course, a former governorship candidate in this last election in Kogi State. I must thank you for your time, speaking to us all the way from London in the United Kingdom.
Thank you. My pleasure.
All right. With that is a wrap on the show today. We'll be back again tomorrow. I am Yusuf Akogu.